and shit everywhere.
All right, let's see if we are actually live. Not sure if we are or not. Okay, it's showing offline right now on Rumble.
Are we
So,
off online?
okay, it's just whether or not it's actually going live. Okay, it shows stopping live stream on here. So, apologies if you guys are hearing anything. Just fast forward a couple minutes as we get things tested out. Let me go to Facebook, see if that has anything. Just a phrase that I've not uttered in like 4 years, but let me go to Facebook. Okay, let me get this. All right, let's see. My memories. Yeah, I'm not showing that we are actually, let me go to restream. Okay, it's showing on restream that it's going out to these different places. So Tim and John show live at my home channel. I see an X. Let's see if that actually worked. So we're just testing a few things out. Okay, it looks like we're live on X, but this what we're gonna do. We've got John Snyson here in the house as well. So yeah, it looks like we're on a little bit of a delay for the one that I'm looking at. But anyways, we're just trying to see if it's been like 3 or 4 years since we've gone live. And what we're gonna do is some of the more basic platforms like your Facebooks and YouTubes, we're gonna have some PG content right now as we're trying to get this live. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with my fit. Yeah, I don't show it being live on Fascist Book, which it's fine. Screw those people. But then let's see for YouTube if we're actually live. And again, we're not going to be, even if we are, we're not going to be keeping it on YouTube for. Okay, looks like we're live on YouTube as well. And I guess particularly useful if let me go back to myself. But particularly useful if if you're wondering like what the heck has been going on with us for the past several years. We will get into all that and more. Okay, looks like we're live on Rumble as well. It was weird.
Get ready to rumble.
It's showing only 3 followers on. I don't know if it's 3 people who are on right now or just it looks like it just might be me. But anyways, we are going to get this officially kicked off here in just a little bit. But as we're trying to get everything underway right now, and when you go years without doing this, you've got to just figure figure things out again. But anyways, we're okay, looks like we're good on Rumble. We're good on Facebook. Oh, sorry, we're good on YouTube right now. And so, yeah, but apparently no one is watching this on YouTube. I think we're on the Change the News channel as well. So let me go and verify that. So yeah, it does show. Let me just click on this. Let me go and verify that. Yeah, it does show that we're live on Change the News as well. So, and yeah, currently one person watching right now. So we are going to have a legit live web stream, but if you guys want to see the actual live web stream, I encourage you to either go to X, that would be at Advisor Liberty, or you can go on Rumble, which you can search for the Liberty Advisor on Rumble to get that. Actually, one of them is Liberty Advisor and one's the Liberty Advisor. And I think for whatever reason, it's let me go and check my channels. Yeah, it's showing the Liberty Advisor. And let's see if we're live on here. Yeah, and for whatever reason, the main Rumble channel, it appears that it's not live on there, but it's live on something else. So you know what? There's a Liberty Advisor that it's apparently live on, and the Liberty Advisor is not live on. So, anyways, if you guys go and follow the links down below, you can find out all the places to check us at. But obviously, given the controversial stuff that we get into all the time, that this is not going to be something that's going to be very YouTube friendly or and just to kind of give you the background, like we were growing at one point pretty fast, to say the least, and over 1,000 new subscribers a day. And then what had happened is the 2016 selection came and went, and all of a sudden I never gained another new subscriber ever again on FBI book, which was the main place I was growing on. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm on Restream. I show that everything is going out. Okay, it's showing one of these is unable to connect for my main page that had 32,000 people on it. It's showing that one's not connecting. Showing Rumble's good, X is good, showing Change the News is good. So if you are watching some Change the News, like we have not been on. I don't think John and I have done a video on there in what, like 4 years almost.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
Been a while.
it's been almost 4 years since we've done a video, and we'll kind of get into all that, and maybe not all that. But anyways, if you are following us in those channels, make sure you go to Advisor Liberty on X would be the way to, I can put that into, let me see if I can put that into the chat right now. And John is fresh back from where we at with people now.
Oh, just hanging out with a little known guy. Well, no, and it's Mr. Ed Griffin. Had a little trip up there, up to his retreat up in the mountains at Paso Robles. So it's good times, plotting world dominance, of course, up there. And yeah, he's doing good. He's 93, and I'm impressed. He's still going. He almost died, a couple of years back there. So it's quite remarkable. But you know what helped him? They took him out of the hospital. That's what saved him.
I want to give a shout out to Ryan Hogue. He welcomes us back from the dead, and Ryan's always been a very supportive of us, and great great listener. So thanks, Ryan. So yeah, so what we're doing now is, obviously, given the content that we've been posting is not very suitable for these platforms. I mean, we were even kicked off for Discord. I mean, we barely even got into anything controversial on Discord at all. And people are saying, "Oh, why did you guys nuke your Discord?" No, it got nuked. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah.
And so we're still on some of these other enemy platforms right now. But if you guys head over to, for right now, and I did join Twitter or X again, and I think that's all controlled opposition as well.
Yeah.
But for right now,
It's a little bit better than Facebook, anyways. I got sick of Facebook. I was in jail constantly, so it was like no point of being on there. So I just deleted everything.
So I'm gonna just close out the Facebook stuff, and then
Yeah.
Ryan, if you want to watch us, you can go over to X, or you can go over to Rumble, and I'll put in the actual link right now into Rumble. But when you go 3 or 4 years not going live on these different platforms, it's it's a lot to get used to again. Let's see over here, paste into this. All right, so we've got the Rumble channel up there. We've got the X channel up there if you guys want to watch. And okay, we got Dr. Rob Davis in the house as well. Rock and roll boys. I appreciate that. So we're going to be going over to X and then also over to Rumble, just because like I have videos from 4 years ago that I keep getting strikes on. Actually, like the Andrew Kaufman one, always getting strikes in that. We took down most of the controversial stuff and constantly getting strikes. And so basically this channel was pretty much dead because I wasn't allowed to upload. And then every time they allowed me to upload, I got hit with something else. And that's after I've like self-censored, which I hate even admitting to, but like taken off a bunch of the controversial stuff. And then they still keep hitting me with stuff. So you know what? If you want to, and this is a message that I wish everybody else had, because ultimately we need decentralized options, but we haven't even gotten into the show yet. Just wanted to test a couple things out in the ones and twos over here, making sure it sounds good. But definitely, yeah, it shows one person watching on Change the News channel that has almost 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, I'm sure that's super legit. It's showing my channel that has 3,000 subscribers, one person watching, which is me. And then so you know what?
Yeah.
Which is funny because we've already had 2 people comment, even though it's showing that nobody's watching. So we've
Tim, share a link with me and I'll post it too, and then we can see if.
Well, it's hard for me if you just want to go to so it's on the Change the News channel. I've got both the links. So Advisor Liberty on X or on Twitter is one of them, and then on Rumble, it's Liberty Advisor on Rumble would be the other way. But both of those links you can find on that Change the News channel. It's gonna have both those links right now. But yeah, we're gonna get into all sorts of stuff over here. So we're gonna get into obviously what's going on with Bitcoin, what's going on gold and silver markets, what's going on with the whole pandemic. This is the first time John and I have been actually in the same place since the pandemic, since February of 2020 was the last time we were in the same place at the same time. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get the shutdown on the more traditional channels, and then it's only going to be up on the places that for right now won't shut us down. And then I'll have to go back and figure out what was going on with Facebook and what was going on. I think we're on Odyssey as well, so that would be another place to check out. But yeah, I'm going to shut this down on my Temperature Liberty Advisor channel. Again, you can follow us over on X at Advisor Liberty, and then also on Rumble for Liberty Advisor for right now. And then eventually, which eventually is coming up real soon, is what we'll have is I'll have a timuncensored.com, and you can go there, and then we'll have like an embed live link over there. But still getting all that stuff set up. Just made it back from Mexico, and we've got a multi-stream going on over here, and just trying to figure everything out as John's over there on his phone, trying to spread the word to the people.
Spread the word to the world.
But yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna make sure that I get this saved locally on my computer if there's a way to do that. Okay, so we're gonna get the save local on my computer, get this restarted over on X and Rumble and Odyssey, and then I'll have to add in Rockfin too. So that's another one I forgot to add in there. But anyways, yeah. The primary way that we're going to do this was going to be through OBS, and OBS decided that they weren't going to let me restream through there, and then so I did a workaround through Zoom. Because you know what, when the going gets tough, it's tough to get going. We figure things out. But anyways, this was just our first test in several years.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got 4 people watching us now. So which probably 2 of them are John and I. So, but yeah, who knows? There could be 4,000 watching, and they wouldn't let us know anyways. But anyways, if you do want to get the actual analysis, and we'll, at a later date, not right now, kind of get into what happened with that channel, change the news channel, and I've got plenty of videos that show that one of us were not afraid during this whole, not, well, John and I both weren't afraid, but then there was another person on the channel that was afraid.
I wonder who
That was afraid, whose name begins with, sounds like puke. Who then, now wants to sell T-shirts saying tested positive for never being afraid when, anyone that was watching this channel, which are you guys, would know. But anyways, we're going to cut this, go into the more controversial stuff, which is basically just us talking. Anything that we talk about is going to be controversial just because of the fact of the different stuff we get ourselves into all the time. But that's enough rambling. Thank you for helping us as we test this out. And does it sound good to you guys? Let's see here. Derek Slight, great to see you guys. Great to see you as well. And it's crazy that we've had like 4 or 5 people comment that they're watching while YouTube is only showing us, what is it? Showing 3 watching. We've had 4 effing comments from 4 different people, but yet 3 people are watching. And then I'm one of them and you're one of them. So at least right there, that's at least 5. Not that, not showing that we're putting up like Tim Pool numbers or anything over there, but we're laying low for the past 4 years. I've got a homestead ready over here and was trying to do some actual things, and got also have 30 chickens. I've got, all the greenhouse, all that stuff, getting ready for the whole round 2, whatever they want to come at us with. But, right now it's sort of that like proverbial like football, like Super Bowl time. Not that, I haven't watched the actual Super Bowl in years, but you know what? 4 years ago when the whole pandemic was going on, we were there right from the start with actual analysis. There was a big time interview that we did on here that we weren't allowed to we weren't actually allowed to have. So one of our other guests censored me with a Dr. Judy Mikovits interview, which actually I was like the first person basically in the world to get this interview before pandemic even came out. And 8 days before it came out, but that information was going to get people killed, and we couldn't do that. And so you know what? Now that person wants to go on Tim Pool, acting like they were me the whole time, acting like they were John the whole time. And, there's been no apologies. There's been no anything. And so, you know what? I was just going through and biding my time. And so, you know what? It's been 4 years. We can see what they're doing again this time, trying to get all their BS started up again. But I've got a message of hope, not a message of fear, but we're going to get into all things, Bitcoin, gold and silver, prepping, the pandemic, some economic stuff to the Federal Reserve Economic Database. And okay, you see 7. So someone commented right now they see 7 watching. So on mine, it shows 2. It shows 2 watching. So on yours, okay, I'm glad it shows, glad it shows 7.
YouTube is very solid.
Yeah. So anyways, we're just messing around a little bit right now. But if you guys, okay, at the start of COVID, I was on Luke's channel calling him We are Tim Pool because he was crapping his pants about blatantly obvious propaganda. Exactly. I mean, he was telling us like that's what we need to model our channel after another guy who's named Tim. Uh, I mean, it's funny. I was actually thinking about doing a show for my pool and just calling it like Tim's Pool Show. I mean, he's exactly 2 months to the day younger than me.
There you
We
go.
both have 30 chickens. Just the only difference is, in 2012, when I was running marathons promoting Dr. Ron Paul, he was out there voting for Obama. And then in 2016, when I was on record predicting that I thought Trump was going to win, and then blame it. I don't even know if we can even talk about this. Like, I don't even think I can even talk about this basic stuff without trying to get censored on here or trying to get ourselves another strike. So if you guys want to get into some of this more hardcore stuff, follow the links. I've got the advisor. I just started a Twitter page. Actually my other Twitter was nuked, so barely even posted on that. So yeah, if you guys want to help me out there, I've only got like 163 subscribers. A week ago I had like 10, so I even had less than Jesus. So which wasn't really even his real name, Yeshua. So I don't even like saying that name.
Are you calling yourself Jesus, Tim?
No, I was just saying that, he only had 12 and I didn't even have as many. That's a pretty low bar to get over. And I had less than him. That's what I was saying. But,
I was just joking.
but I did, before I was into any of that, it's kind of crazy that, I did pick the same enemies pretty much as him. I mean, I picked, who did I pick as an enemy? I picked, the money changers, the Federal Reserve. So I had never actually done anything with the Bible or anything. And all of a sudden one day in 2010, someone's like, hey, it sounds like you just ripped out the book of Revelations. And I'm like, what's the book of Revelations? And so it's like crazy that I could kind of come up with the same conclusions without having read the book.
Well, the evil has always been there, Tim. That's probably the gist of it. Like when we see true evil, we got to fight it. And so they did back in the day.
Yep. And welcome Daniel Cavalucci to the chat. We've got Joe Buren up there. Difference is Tim Pool without a beanie. Looks like a Artie Buccio from the Sopranos. And would be cool to get Josh there too. Well, next time Josh is allowed back in the United States, it'd be cool to have him. So a lot of his videos over the past few years this was the set that was behind him. It was a green screen that gets pulled down for that. So for much of the past year, this is where a lot of Josh's videos were when he wasn't over in Mexico, and he's heading off to the UK over there, and maybe we'll get him on at some point. But anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick this stream off, literally kick it off of the YouTube stream, going over to X, going over to Rumble. Not that I trust, Rumble that's on the New York Stock Exchange, and not that I trust X that's owned by Elon Musk, and not that, I mean, look, literally all we've been trying to do is get people to have decentralized options. And so I will be coming out with a timuncensored.com here shortly, and then all the links will be there. But for now, the Liberty Advisor Show, and I've got somebody working on that like literally right now as we speak. And anyways, if you guys want to be way ahead of the curve, you can, follow along with John and I, who literally were calling out all this stuff from day one, telling people, first time I mentioned Ethereum on one of my streams was when it was at like $70. First time talking about Bitcoin was in the hundreds of dollars. First time talking about decentralization of everything was 2017. And this is on video, not just in general, like first time talking about what you'd now call a CBDC. We called it FedCoin and GovCoin on video in 2016. Yeah. I only started doing videos in 2016. So like all these other content creators are getting to focus on like this carousel of fear, this carousel of BS. Like you and I have been coming out here with like actual real solutions. And because ultimately it's not like, hey, let's get on this other centralized platform that they can yank the rug from. It's, getting, okay, let me just post the X link on here once again. And, because Elon Musk is so open and honest that, that my initial page was taken down. So, but all these other people are allowed to grow. We're attacked, we're demonized. And, for a while, let it get to me. For a while, I was like, hey, we're just going to go kind of do my own thing, prepare what I need to prepare for. I didn't want to just complain about it. I wanted to like have real solutions. And so I spent the last couple of years building over here, and now time to start exposing again, because right now, as we're getting back into this, it's a selection year. I didn't say election, we said a selection year. We're getting into obviously everything that's going on. And so, we're here not to be like your basic bitch daily news type stuff that some other people put out, but it's really to kind of keep your eye on the ball, the stuff that really matters. And you know, because a lot of people want to just keep you on that carousel of fear that gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
But ultimately, for what's coming, there's, you know, besides getting like right spiritually, there's not, I think, anything more important than that. So you can have all the guns and ammo, which, you know, got all that, and you can have everything else. But if you're not right with the mind, body, spirit, the other stuff is not going to matter. So I did just post those links in there for X at Advisor Liberty, and then we've got the link for today on Rumble as well. And I'll come back with, I'll eventually have it all hosted onto the site. But, you know, ultimately we want to have options where they can't stop us, they can't shut us down, because it's not about me. It's not about look how many likes I can get. It's not about the dopamine hit. Because if I wanted to do that, I would have kept being on Facebook, kept getting thousands of people and different retweets. It's about having 90% of information is an information war. And that's why Hillary, what it was like 2014 was like, you know, we are in an information war and we're losing that war. And I was super optimistic in 2016 because I was a no-name nobody that really wanted to, you know, stop World War III going on with the Russians. My hypothesis is 2013 is that people like Victoria Nuland and the State Department and Hillary were essentially trying to foment World War III to then bring the dollar collapse on the Russians. You know, you can go back to my Facebook page, basically a Rosetta Stone of everything that was going on, but it was not about me. It's about, I was getting optimistic in 2016 because I'm like, hey, if a nobody like me can figure out how to reach millions of people on a standstill, I can teach other people. And then, you know, with like 100 of us, culture jam the entire everything. And then they go and then when they started shutting me down, people, you know, all these boomers are like, oh, you know, you just care about likes and I'm not on that Facebook. And I'm not, it's not about likes and being on Facebook, about getting the actual information out. And we couldn't get the information out because people that actually didn't sell out couldn't get their information out anymore. They were censored. They were completely shut down. I mean, we're still on some of these other platforms, so I got to watch myself, and I've got to, you know, bring it down a few notches over here. Because ultimately, you know, I don't want to rant. I don't want to get mad because, you know, it's about having a message of love and positive vibration getting out to everybody, and having that, you know, not trying to sell fear, not trying to be afraid. But, you know, it's like this passion that's coming through, but it's not a passion of trying to make people scared. It's not a passion of trying to be like, oh, look, we're right on this.
Yeah, it's something that we need to focus on. And the last couple of year and a half, that's been in my focus as well, where I had long-term podcasts, basically long-term format podcasts that I've been doing with lots of experts that you probably actually never seen or known, but they're actually like deep.
You were one of the first to get David Webb. I mean, John, I mean, is not one to brag, so I'll brag for him. He just came from Gio Griffin's house. So, I mean, I'm in pretty good company that he goes from Gio Griffin's house to my place. But anyways, you knew you were at the Grand Canyon before that. But anyways, you know, you're not out here to brag, but you were literally with like the goat of notes.
And David Webb was just actually out there last week. He came from Sweden, flew all the way over to Ed. And actually, the funny little story, the reason why I was the first to kind of interview him was because he's a massive fan of Ed Griffin. And so my friend Matt Smith, shout out to Matt Smith, he contacted me and was like, hey, you know Ed, and then he was like,
and Matt Smith is
he's
Doug Casey's like sort of right hand man, like main man.
Yeah, so I talked to so Matt reached out to me and be like, hey, you know, David Webb is a huge fan of Ed, and can you help him? So I just like, yeah, just give me his information. So I talked to David Webb for like a couple of hours, and then gave him all the information to Ed, and yeah, he just flew out and met Ed. They actually have put together, doing some work on the UCC, the Universal Code, and the ownership of actually assets right now in South Dakota. I think they pushed it out to several different states actually, but it was interesting when that came out. He was actually attacked pretty. Like actually being called names by somebody that you know, you put a little higher. Like,
are you talking about the Great Taking?
No, or, yeah, the Great Taking. So like they actually came out and did an attack video, and the people that did it was John Titus and Catherine Austin Fitz just suddenly just attacked him and name called him. And so I found that was very interesting. You know, that I looked upon, you know, Catherine Austin Fitz quite highly. You know, she's been a member of the Hall of Fame at Freedom Force International that I sit on the board of. So I was surprised that that actually happened with, and so like David Webb just called, was like, did you see this? You know, what is going on there? It's like, what's going on with these guys? You know, I trusted them. And so it's very interesting. Suddenly, when you put something very important out there, people come out of the woodwork to destroy it, seems like, suddenly. And it's been called a red herring and all this stuff. But actually, the he did a rebuttal video where it shows like, no, they're all wrong here. Like these are actual laws that are in there that basically states that you don't have anything, like all the assets that you think you have in a digital format, you don't really have. Actually, we did research with Matthew Smith and Doug, the Casey's group. I'm hanging out with them at. You guys should check it out. It's called file.co, that Doug and Matt has. We're just like I think 600, 700 people now, capitalists that are hanging out there and just talking. But they did research. We did serious research on like getting stock certificates. So we actually have the old certificate in your ownership, and you can actually do that with a few things. But there's like actually First Majestic. I don't think you even can do that, which is silver company. But there's certain companies that you can't even get like digital physicals. No, sorry, physical certificates for ownership. And so some has, some don't, and but it's very interesting what David Webb pointed out.
Yeah, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it now. I know I've said it probably like 10 times, and I didn't realize that there was a spot on Restream where I could just put it into one spot and it would go everywhere else. But you know what? When you go 4 years without, a lot of big time people, they've got people who are going through and doing all this stuff for them. And here's me seeing switching and doing everything. And you know what? Practice makes it perfect. So, anyways, thank you for joining us on this one. Please head over to our X channel at Advisor Liberty. I just put it into the chat, and then also Rumble. And if you guys have other suggestions of places where we should be in post, it will be put up in BitChute. And I mean, I've been paying BitChute to support what they've been doing probably for like 6 or 7 years. So, anyways, but you know what? Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna go on to the actual mainstream here, not to the mainstream, to the mainstream, but not the
And
mainstream,
and in
if you know
true
what I mean.
fashion, Italian fashion, arrivederci.
Arrivederci. There we go. All right, we're